Yeah, hi. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Coca-Cola. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, hi. Alrighty, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your late night Smackdown review. Um, so WWE was in Madison Square Garden. Let me see if I put my reading glasses on. If this is good. Okay, yeah, this is good actually. So WWE was in Madison Square Garden tonight. I could have gone, but I didn't get a ticket, and unfortunately, there was no stars there that to make you care about the show to watch it. So I was not that intrigued to really be able to want to go to that show. So yeah, there you go. That's the thing. The show beforehand did not look intriguing. I'm sure they had the Bloodline storyline. I mean, that's about it. Again, and like they had the Bloodline thing. That's literally it. But it's not intriguing enough to make me want to go see the show, especially when there's like no Roman. And people talk about how Jimmy Uso was gonna be on the show, and yet he wasn't. So what does that fucking tell you? Jimmy Uso wasn't even on the show. There was no stars at all. Not saying that I did not like what they did with the Bloodline story. I'm not saying I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with what they did with the main event. I don't have a problem with what they opened up the show with and what they ended the show with. I have no problem with what they did with the Bloodline. I have no problem with it. It just, other than that, what happened else with the show? I'm not saying the show was terrible. I will say this. The show could have been worse, but it really wasn't that great. I'm not saying that the show wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't a terrible show, but it was not worth, like, if I was a New York, like me being a New Yorker, it was not worth buying a ticket, in my honest opinion. I feel bad that there's people that would buy a ticket, that kind of stuff. So, got a lot of comments. Unfortunately, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm not intrigued enough to get the ticket. You're lucky you didn't go because the ending was good. What do you mean? You're lucky you didn't go because if the ending was good, it was good. Thought The Rock was going to return and thought Roman was going to return or Jay, but no, it was all Paul Heyman. I mean, am I really surprised? Like, Roman was not going to be on the show anyways. His father just passed, and they're having a break for him purposely. But again, this is the problem with WWE. You're having a break. You're giving him a break, and you're missing your star power for the show to make people care. Again, there's a reason why people are chanting, "We want Roman." Because again, he's the only star, really, if you think about it. He's the real only big star in modern WWE, and yet he's not there. His presence is missed. The Rock was not going to be there. He's busy with movies, and he has a torn pec or whatever. Jimmy, I don't know what the fuck they did with Jimmy. I don't know. It's just like, how is he gonna return now? Especially with Paul Heyman being gone. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know anymore. And plus the thing is with Jimmy, they ruined Jimmy, unfortunately. They fucking ruined Jimmy. They made him look like a joke, so why should I really care? Even if he's not could be on the show. I mean, or he's could be on the show. But regardless, like, the show wasn't a terrible show. Like, I mean, it could have been worse. It was okay. I mean, if you're and that's the thing, the show was only okay if you're watching at home. It was not a good show. It was not exciting enough. You know what I mean? It was not an exciting enough show to make you care. They had qualifier Money in Bank matches that with no story, no one cares about with the women and men. The only match that was only good was literally the Logan Paul match, Logan Paul versus LA Knight Santos Escobar, and they had that Tyrese guy from the Indianapolis team from the NBA and the guy from the New York Knicks. They had their little interaction, which was not a problem. And I will say this: the problem with this show, though, when you're watching at home, WWE keep leaping the show and a bunch of black screens. That affected also my enjoyment of trying to watch the show. just them bleeping kept like, you know, blacking out everything. It's definitely hurt the show a lot if you're watching at home. I think it's also good for a change to see how the show is different when you're like compared to being at Madison Square Garden and watching at home. Thankfully, I did not miss much. I mean, I'm not saying I don't love Paul Heyman. I love Paul Heyman. But is it really intriguing enough to fucking go to the show just to see Paul Heyman get his ass whipped by the Bloodline? No. But it wasn't a bad segment. Obviously, that's a good segment. But I'll be honest with you. I would have saved that segment for more of a future time. Or, because again, my theory, or not my theory, my idea of how they should bring back Roman should be them attacking Paul Heyman. Maybe they could do that another time where like Paul Heyman, he's gonna deal with the Bloodline some way, shape, or form again. He's about to get beat up. Maybe they do something to him where they beat him a little bit, but once they're gonna do a definitive end, that's when Roman Reigns comes back. That's how I would do it. But I would especially do it if The Rock comes back first and he becomes the WWE champion, because that's what I would do. That's why I would have rather definitely had Rock coming back at SummerSlam, dethroning Cody Rhodes, and they could build this thing maybe like the Bloodline, something with the Bloodline and The Rock, where maybe, and this could happen on the anniversary of SmackDown, because again, the 25th anniversary of SmackDown's coming up. I would have done Rock appearing on the show with the Bloodline. Paul Heyman, some reason, is there, but they managed to beat him up because they're tired of Paul Heyman. The Usos tries to help them. Like, this would be like when the Usos, they reunite type of deal, but then they get beat up. But then everyone's laid out. They're about to beat up fucking Paul Heyman. Freaking, you know, the Usos, they're all cornered. They can't save Paul. They can't save Paul Heyman, and that's when Roman Reigns returns. I would do that, and that's how I would do it. You know what I mean? And that would be the perfect way to like use, you know, for the anniversary show of SmackDown. That's why I would do it. And then, you know, that's how you keep building to Rock and Roman, Roman and the Usos versus the new Bloodline, old versus new Bloodline. That would lead to like War Games for some Survivor Series. I don't know why fucking Survivor Series is sadly not beloved by Indianapolis. I feel bad for Survivor Series. Like, it's that fucking lost child that nobody fucking cares about anymore. I feel bad for Survivor Series, man. They don't, like, Indianapolis would rather care about Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, but no fucking Survivor Series. Damn. So much for the Big Four. But yeah, that's how I would do it. And then it'll build up to War Games, and then that could immediately lead to Rock and Roman WrestleMania. It's not so hard, but WWE doesn't really think anymore or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying they can't build something to like that's similar, but that's how I would think that would be the perfect way of engaging television. But unfortunately, The Rock is not going to be back for a while, looks like. And a lot of things are not going to happen. So it's like, it sucks, you know, what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. That's how I would do things. You know what I mean? Where's a random SummerSlam being too nice video? I just keep getting busy, man. I'm sorry. I'm just busy with life. I'm gonna try to do more videos. I'm gonna try. That has not left my mind. I promise you. Eventually, I will. I mean, it is SummerSlam right now. I should. I'm gonna write that down. Actually, I'm gonna make that a reminder to make a SummerSlam video. Make SummerSlam 2-night video. Make SummerSlam 2-night rant video for Bradshaw. Yeah, I'll do that. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. It's just I'm busy, man. There's a lot of things that are going on. Tyrese Halberton and Jalen Bronson are the stars. Oh, thank you. Tyrese Halberton from the Indianapolis. He was there, and then he had a face off with the Jalen Bronson. Yeah. Who do you think is going to win Money in the Bank, Drew or Jey Uso? I think so. They're not going to have McIntyre win. I would think that CM Punk should be in Money in the Bank first of all. That would have been kind of cool. And that could have been cool, like seeing McIntyre and Punk interact with each other. but I don't think McIntyre is going to win at all. I don't even think he's going to be in the Money in Bank match, in all honesty. I don't know. That's the thing. Like, this whole qualifier shit's stupid. I mean, they should have. Why not McIntyre and Sheamus in it, too? Like, those two should be in the Money in Bank match. And then Jey Uso, sure, why not? I mean, looks like Jey Uso more likely is the guy. Because, let's be honest, compared to everybody, Jey Uso looks like the bigger star to win, you know? He's in that status where he could win Money in Bank. It makes more sense. So, anyways. So, yeah, let's talk about the show. The show started with the Bloodline. They're coming to the ring. Rest in peace to Sika. Sika Anawai. He passed away. So rest in peace to him. Definitely, indeed, rest in peace. I think they showed a video. They showed a video package during the show. The video package looked amazing, very touching, very nice to honor the guy. I think they showed a graphic before the show started. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but they showed a graphic then the video. It was beautiful. You know, I will say that. That's what they did in the middle of the show. I think after the Logan Paul match, it was beautiful. Anyways, the Bloodline, they showed up. They're coming out of a van or whatever. I mean, they were already in Madison Square Garden. I saw a video of them, like they were already riding Madison Square Garden. So like just like they showed like early, but it's like obviously like pretend they showed up. They're showing up now. They're wasting no time. Anyways, I showed up the Bloodline. They're entering with the roof van, the arena. Then they're coming in, and we see another van in the Titantron. So WWE had the small Titantron. They had a different setting for the show because it was in Madison Square Garden. They try to make this show. They're saying how this show is sold out, yet you're still selling tickets before the show started. So it was not sold out, you dumb fucks. And you had to get seat fillers or whatever. And Cody Rhodes even mentioned seat filler. I guess that's a little in-joke or whatever. We see another van. We see Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. They coming out. They come into with a van. And then the Bloodline notices this. And then we see the Bloodline, Cody Rhodes, Orton, and Kevin Owens. They have a little face-off. And then they brawled around Madison Square Garden, around the entrance. It wasn't bad to start the show. Sure, this is exciting. You see Kevin Owens did a swanton on top of the... It was kind of similar to Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton from a few years... Man, I can't believe I'm going to say like 10, 20 years ago. Like, I feel old. I really do feel old. Am I going to say that? Like, I was 9 years old when that happened. Now I'm 25. It's like 15 years ago, in a sense, something like that. It's like, damn, 15 years since fucking Orton and Kevin Owens or Kofi Kingston with that moment. I remember that SmackDown very well. That was like the last SmackDown in 2009. The last one was Raw. That was the last Madison Square Garden show for so many years. And I don't know why the fuck that WWE hasn't done a Madison Square Garden show since then. Until like 2019. They stopped doing like WWE shows for like 15 years in Madison Square Garden as a Raw or SmackDown or even a pay-per-view. I think the only time they did a pay-per-view was like Survivor Series 2011. So, which was cool, to know that they did that. They haven't done a Raw and SmackDown a long time with that. I mean, I'm happy they're doing Raw and SmackDowns again. It just sucked that they didn't make this show really intriguing to make me want to buy a ticket, or I know like friends who are in town, would go. So that's the thing. It is sadly a quiet time in WWE where like they, because of big stars, like they're not really going to be around only until Survivor Series, not until SummerSlam and WrestleMania time. That's the sad reality about the whole part-timer issue, But yeah, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, they faced off with the Bloodline. They brawled, but then they get separated. And the commercial happens. Then we see the security guards. They're stopping Team Cody or whatever. But then Cody, Orton, and Kevin Owens, they attack the security guards. So I thought they're good guys. But whatever, they attack them because they're very badass, apparently. They're like Stone Cold. I would only believe like Randy Orton to do this, but then fucking really Kevin Owens. And I mean, I'll get because Kevin Owens is Stone Cold Kevin Owens. He does as a stunner or whatever. They attacked the security guards, and then they're scared of fucking police officers. Before that, they cut a promo. Cody got the mic and says, "I don't know." He gives a oh yeah. Kevin Owens says, the bloodline are making me cry my tears. And you guys are like, we're gonna make it to Money in the Bank because we want to kick your ass. And then Orton says, yeah, I've been waiting 2 years. 2 years that the bloodline took me out, but it's going to end up Money in the Bank. I mean, didn't everyone just said that, they're tired of the bloodline? And it's like, oh, you're scared. Like, didn't they say, and they're not going to wait till Money in the Bank? What the fuck? I don't know. And then Cody says, these are all my friends. Kevin Owens right here. He was like WrestleMania. He was my friend. Kevin Owens, this over here is the man. I mean, why? The reason why I'm here. He was my, mentor. He's the man who was multi-time world champion. And I am the man who should be defending the title at Madison Square Garden. And I see a sold-out crowd, even though it's not really sold out, but okay. Just I see a sold-out crowd, and I should be defending my title, okay? And yeah, nobody would probably care about your title defense. But yeah, again, you're supposed to be a guy defending your title, want to defend your title. And yet, like, you're doing fuck all as champion, whatever. But anyways, I see one thing, what the bloodline is, and that's seat filler. And I don't know how that make any sense, but whatever. Security, whatever. The police officers showed up. They had no guns. Well, what happened if somebody had a gun? Police officer with no guns. Obviously, they're fake, but it's stupid. But then they escorted all three of them out of the arena. So again, think about it. This is Madison Square Garden. Three of your supposed biggest stars in this company, and they get escorted out of Madison Square Garden. It's basically the only reason why people would probably buy a ticket for like Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. The only real two stars you would kind of well, they're not real stars. I mean, actually, Orton is a real star compared to Cody Rhodes. Unfortunately, WWE ruined Orton's stock value, where he's not viewed as like a John Cena, if you really think about it, or a real top star. They ruined Orton's like kind of star power stock, as you say. You know what I mean? And they, he should be viewed as a very like a big ass main eventer, and you're gonna you're gonna escort them out of Madison Square Garden, and have them not be a part of the fucking show. What are we doing here? What sense does that make? So this is why I predicted on my why I'm not going to Madison Square Garden show. They literally just had Orton. Really think if you really that they only had Orton for like just 2 minutes. Not for the entire show. Not even to come back for the main events. What does that fucking tell you? So what's the point of getting a fucking ticket? The only reason why people are going to get a ticket, again, they're a bunch of marks. A lot of these smarky wrestling fans are marks. Or not just that, people who are casuals who think that this shit is going to be good. Because some people go to Madison Square Garden, they expect big things when they're casual people. They get fooled to like buy tickets, sadly. And you wonder why, and you wonder why you don't have the same type of viewers the next year, because you're losing their faith. So I don't know what to tell you. Oh, and by the way, Martin Mole, the guy from Roseanne who played Gary Guy in Roseanne, and also the principal of Sabrina which has died. I don't know. Martin Mole. Please tell me he's not the fat guy. I mean, I wouldn't know about Roseanne, but if it's, rest in peace. I wouldn't know. I'll be right back. That's a darn shame. All right, just had to wash something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just like being clean. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it took so long. Okay, let me put on my robe, ladies and gentlemen. My beautiful. All right, I'm back. Okay, let's talk about the show. So that's what happened. So like, unfortunately, it wasn't bad. I don't know. It just was kind of stupid. Obviously, it made a little exciting opener, but it just wasn't exciting enough to make you, like, really, this is what happened on the fucking show. Like, what sense does that make? I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay. So, first match. So Tiffany Stratton defeated Candice LaRue or LeRae, whatever, and Jade Cargill. Nia Jax got involved, but then Bianca, and then all, whatever. Then Indy Hartwell got involved. Nobody cares. Again, this is the stupidest way to. No one fucking cares. If you're like Madison Square Garden, come on. And we're starting off with women who are a bunch of, like, again, a bitch that no one fucking knows. Candice LaRue. Really, this fucking cunt who's just, but she's a star for the indies. No reaction. Jade Cargill, who a fake star from AEW, and Tiffany Stratton. I'm happy Tiffany Stratton won. She's fucking hot. Would have been great to see her in person. She's invited to my big black couch, make her go, oh shit, oh shit. But yeah, at least she won. It just, my God, who the fuck cares about this match? Like, seriously, come on here. Like, really, that's what happened. Come on. We then see Pretty Deadly, aka they're back. I don't know. It's like, yes, boy, we want to perform or whatever. And then, I don't know. No, whatever. Oh, yes, boy. Yes, boy, or whatever. Then the Street Profits, they want a shot at the Bloodline, but they're not going to get it. But then, like, they're teasing a match with them, and nobody fucking cares. Second match. LA Knight defeats Logan Paul Santos Escobar to qualify for the men's qualifier of men's Money Big Ladder match. Logan Paul gets a bunch of boos and the fucking cut off by Fox is crazy. It's freaking crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't wait for the Netflix era begins, but you have to understand, freaking SmackDown's gonna be on the USA Network. There's gonna be no difference when this happens on the USA Network, you dumb fuckers. So I don't know what to fucking tell you. So yeah. So yeah, we had Logan Paul introducing, Madison Square Garden, the mecca of pro wrestling, a mecca of sports entertainment, stars being made. And I have a special guest that's going to be with me, Tyrese something, the Tyrese guy from the Indianapolis team. What's the guy's name? Tyrese Halberton. He then confronted Janelle Bronson from the Knicks. I mean, whatever. I mean, this is cool for casuals or whatever. I mean, people who are like sports fans, like, but again, I'm not going to act like I know them or care. And I'm not saying it was not cool. It's just like, whatever. You know what I mean? So the triple threat match happens. The match wasn't bad. I will say this. This is definitely the better match of the show. This match proves that Logan Paul can go. Logan Paul proves he can go. This was his first wrestling match in Madison Square Garden. Not bad, right? Not a bad match at all. LA Knight won by a roll up after like Logan Paul tried to cheat a roll up. There was like an instance where the Tyrese guy was going to help Logan Paul with the brass knuckles. He didn't get to because he got distracted. Just passed it like he was like scared, whatever. Oh yeah, but then the Jamal guy, he got out of the barricade. He's not supposed to be like a guest or anything, but he just got a barricade, and no security came in immediately to stop him. You know, you get by logic, shouldn't fucking he be stopped by security? He was stopped by referees, but not security. Again, people who would try to jump over the ring, they'll get like arrested. Like, why the fuck is this Jamal? I mean, I understand he's a celebrity, but again, it should make sense that no matter who it is, they should be stopped, right? But then whatever, Jamal he stopped, whatever. But then he just was escorted out. Logan Paul lost. But then we see the Tyrese guy and Logan Paul with the brown knuckle. But then we see the Jamal guy comes with a steel chair. Again, it doesn't make much sense, but sure, it's exciting. I'm not saying it was exciting, and maybe this may lead to some future NBA WWE partnership with the match with these people, which would be good. You know, I can't hate on that, but it's like whatever. But again, you know, Logan Paul should be more angry. The guy just lost the match and lost his chance of being a Money Bank match. You know what I mean? Unless they progress something, whatever. I mean, this is the problem with Money Bank. By logic, they should have people who are feuding with each other involved in Money Bank matches. Same thing with King of the Rings. Same thing with the Royal Rumble. Why isn't Logan Paul in the Money in Bank match along with Logan Paul with LA Knight? And then you could have Sheamus, McIntyre, Jey Uso, and even CM Punk. That would be a better way. I mean, I'm not saying CM Punk. Maybe CM Punk could be the guy who's not necessarily going to be in the Money Bank match, but he could be part of it to cost McIntyre the match even more. Whatever. Just stuff, man. What are we doing? Whatever. It's just whatever. So that happened. We didn't get the video package of Sika. Good for him. Backstage Solo acts. Paul Heyman acts like, you know, can you allow me to be a wise man, please? You know, and then like, yeah, yes, Solo, yes, wise man. I acknowledge you as my wise man. I love you. You know, Solo's not here. I mean, whatever. Jacob, you know, I know he's too dangerous, and that's why I sent him home, and he's not in the building tonight. And tonight it'll be your acknowledgement. So get it? Oh, they're acknowledging Paul Heyman instead. That was like the full idea. Third match: Naomi defeats Indy Hartwell, Blair Davenport to qualify for the Money Bank ladder match. Nobody fucking cares. Whatever. Oh yeah, fucking Jay Carr got involved to stop the Indy Hartwell bitch, just like what happened this week. And here's what's announced for next week, guys. So there's actually 3 matches only on this show, which I have no problem of. I'm surprised, but it's all right. Again, they were long and not really exciting. Oh yeah, there was like a Austin Theory segment with Gargano and Ciampa. Early in the show, Austin confronted those two. How they go, oh, do you know this is an opportunity we could be tag champs in the future? Whatever, but then Austin's like, oh, you're lying about my partner not liking me or whatever. And it's like, oh, no, you're being fooled, Austin. And then Grayson Waller attacks both Ciampa and Gargano, whatever, and their tag time match is announced for next week and rather than the pay-per-view. What's this doesn't make a pay-per-view match, like a title match, not on the pay-per-view? Not that I give a fuck about this match, but like, what are we doing? Then we're going to see Cargill and Bianca versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae for no reason, and Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly. So 3 boring tag team matches next week. Wow. Then we get the Bloodline acknowledgement segments. We have Solo, the other 2, Tangaloa and Tamatunga, along with Paul Heyman. Solo then says, Madison Square Garden, acknowledge me. And Paul was like, shocked. And then Solo says, I'm here to introduce the newest member of the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu. And then we said, and then he was not supposed to be there, and he's there. Paul Heyman can't believe it. And then he asked everyone to, everyone acknowledge me. Tell me long, you acknowledge me? Like, I love you, I acknowledge you. Damatunga, I love you, I acknowledge you. Jacob Fatu, I love you, I acknowledge you. So everybody says I love you. It's like acting like he's like the fucking that recent movie, The Menu, where that chef guy's like, I love you, chef, or whatever. It's like that, like, everything's like, I love you. And then Paul Heyman, he's like, Solo tells Paul Heyman to acknowledge me. Paul Heyman, acknowledge me. Wise man, why didn't you acknowledge me? You gotta acknowledge me. I love you. And then like Paul Heyman says, he's like fucking crying, like, Solo, I love you. And I acknowledge the fact that you are not my tribal chief. So everybody acknowledges Solo as their tribal chief, but not Paul Heyman. And then Paul Heyman gets then spiked by Solo. And it's like, so I loved you. Why you don't acknowledge me? You're gonna pay. And people think, Paul Heyman's gonna get saved. He doesn't. This is actually the first time when Heyman does not get saved from anything. He legit gets beat up. And this is like his hometown again. This is fucking New York. This is fucking Paul Heyman's home. And yeah, Paul Heyman gets beat up. He gets put through the fucking table, Shield style. The triple power bomb by Fatu or whatever, and then like they all pose with Solo, and that's how the show ends. Not much actually happened on the show, and while it wasn't a terrible show, it was whatever. But like, damn, like that was sure that was a good segment. It's not, it's not terrible. It's not worth like what want to go out to like try to get a ticket, but it's like it was not a terrible show. It just like, whatever. But for a Madison Square Garden show, I would expect like there should have been bigger things. But again, they didn't announce anything bigger. But yeah, this show did lack some star power. Let's be for real. But what they did was not necessarily terrible. But again, like, wow, the show where it's like Cody Rhodes the WWE champion, he's being escorted out. Like, come on, whatever. How does it make any sense? And Randy Orton, like, whatever. Show wasn't terrible, and sure the ending. What a way to like, cliffhang the people, like sure, wow. Paul Heyman is basically kicked out of the Bloodline or the new Bloodline, and he got beaten up. Not a problem. That's good. It's going to build up to a story where now it's going to lead to now Roman definitely coming back, and he's going to definitely, it's going to lead to now especially now, wow, it's going to be old Bloodline versus new Bloodline. It's going to be bound to happen. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It just, again, the show as a whole just wasn't that great. Wasn't like must see, very intriguing, entertaining show. But again, yeah, the Bloodline, no doubt, the best thing about the show, the Bloodline being a thing, it's just the best thing of the show, sadly. And that's what's going to save the show. But everything else, unfortunately, with this show was just not that great. But again, sure, definitely now Heyman being gone, he's going to take, he's going to be gone for a little bit. And he's going to come back maybe with Roman. You never know. He might come back with Roman, or they might bring him in a segment where he's going to try to stop the Bloodline, where he can keep in touch with Roman. And that's when Roman comes back, and you're going to have to reunite with the Bloodline, or the old Bloodline, and then Heyman's be back with Roman. And they're going to be a babyface together. That's the only way you can do things, honestly, right now. But yeah, that was not a bad way to end the show. Wow, Bloodline, no Paul Heyman anymore. It's not bad. Now it's like the entirely new Bloodline under Solo Sikoa. But what they're going to be doing is that, like, Solo, he's working under orders of The Rock because he's the final boss, and he's the guy that's the true leader of the new Bloodline. That's how you should do things, and that's how you can write a better. You can't write a better show than that. Definitely, the Bloodline's carrying the show, no doubt about it. It's just a darn shame, like you're lacking that star power a lot, big time, and like this is the only good thing that's happening on this show. Sadly, it's just how it is. Yeah. But other than that, man, show wasn't terrible, but wasn't really that like great. Wasn't terrible, but wasn't great. So yeah, the show was not bad. It was not a bad show. It just wasn't great. Because there was still some boring shit that happened. Wasn't that intriguing enough to make you care about the entire show. I like the opening. I like the ending. I mean, the opening, it still didn't make much sense. It just the opening did not make much sense how they did things, but it's whatever. The Logan Paul match was not bad. It just yeah, the show was okay for watching at home. It's not a bad show to watch at home. Just wasn't just as bad as last week. Both last week and this week was not bad. It just, if you were there in person, I know damn well though. That's the thing. If people weren't there in person, you know damn well those people are disappointed that Roman did not come back. And that's something you don't want to leave the fans there being sad. Like they're not going to go home happy, because and that's the problem with having high expectations. That's the thing. That's why I was smart enough to know that this show wasn't going to be that great to be there in person, because you're going to be disappointed with lack of star power or whatever. So yeah, there you go. Other than that, man, yeah, that's SmackDown. Can't say it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't that great to if you were there in person, you would be very, very disappointed. And this show was just good enough to watch as a show at home, really. But again, for a Madison Square Garden show, let's be honest here, this was not a great Madison Square Garden show. This show could have been way better. But again, the lack of star power nowadays in wrestling, we're heading to that point where you're going to lack that star power more, because WWE doesn't care to build new stars or having a definitive big star like a Roman Reigns or John Cena. I mean, would it have been great to see John Cena in person? That would be great. Like John Cena being there, it would have been cool. Again, if Edge was not retired, it would have been cool to see Edge there. Or not, he didn't retire. He's in AEW. That's the problem. WWE's just stupid to let people go. But anyways, that's the show for you. That's SmackDown. Yeah, not terrible show, but not great exactly. But yeah, definitely the Bloodline's carrying the show, and the Bloodline attacking Paul Heyman, that was good, and definitely makes you question things. Now it makes you intrigued. So we'll see what happens though. But anyway, that's what I have to say with SmackDown. Not a terrible show, but for a Madison Square Garden show, could have been a bit better. But hey, that's all I gotta say, people. I'm just keep real. Get your gains. Drink Cola magnificently. Nice, beautiful Cola. Make bitches go, oh shit, oh shit, okay? Cheers. That's all I'm done gotta say. Until next time. Peace. Yeah, bye. And broadcast.